Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today I have for you a little earring that we're going to make using beadingschool.com products. So this is the little earring that we're going to make today. And this is a Rivoli, a 12 millimeter Rivoli. These are some 4 millimeter bicones and some Miyuki seed beads. These are all Preciosa and they're from beadingschool.com. So I did an unboxing a couple of weeks ago for the beading school, and everyone was very interested, but I had a lot of questions from people who said they don't know how to use the products. So, unless you're a bead weaver, which most of us are stringers, it is a little bit difficult. I've got glue on my fingers. It is a little bit difficult to know what to do with some of these things. So we've got some collaborations coming up. I'm not going to say too much about them, but we are going to show you how to use some of these products. Erica from Beading School is going to do some videos with me, and we're going to learn together because I don't really know either. So I can do this. This is a brick stitch around a hoop. And we're going to make this earring today using these beautiful Preciosa bicones and the Rivoli. So if you're interested in making this, this is also a lightweight earring, a small earring, and I've had a lot of people ask for those. So this kind of kills two birds with one stone, if you would. We're going to learn a little brick stitch, but we're also going to make a small, lightweight earring that you could wear if you don't really prefer larger, bigger earrings. Okay, so let's set this aside, and I will show you everything that you're going to need for this earring. So we're going to be using a Rivoli cup. So this is a stud earring that houses a 12 millimeter Rivoli. When it's glued in there, there's a little loop on there, as you can see, and these come from Amazon. Okay, we've got the 12 millimeter Rivoli. This is light cyan AB, and this is from the Beading School box, the Fire box, I believe. Very pretty. We have got 5 4 millimeter Preciosa Crystal AB bicones. We have a ring. Now this is a 16 millimeter ring, and it is faceted on one side and not on the other. You don't have to use that exact thing. You can use anything you have, any ring that you have. If you use larger or smaller than a 16 millimeter, you'll need to adjust your beads, because I've got this one specifically patterned out for the 16 millimeter ring. We're going to use a small jump ring, and we're going to use 16 Miyuki Delicas around the ring, and then let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 more between the bicones, so 26 Miyuki Delicas size 11s. These are Siam AB. Okay, so then I've got a size 12 beading needle. I have got some stringing material. This is not Fireline, this is Tough Line Supercast. It's actually fishing line, and I get it at the fishing store, and it works just as well. It's 12-pound and it's green. Okay, you're going to need a little E6000 glue. Here's my E6000. It looks pitiful. And you're going to need a little piece of foam core or something to put your stud piece into to let it dry. So let's set that one aside for a minute, and I'm going to pull in just a bit. All right, so here's what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is glue our Rivoli in our piece so that it can be drying while we're doing the rest of our earring. So we're just going to stick this down in there, and we're going to put a little bit of glue in. It doesn't take a lot. I've already got some glue in there. I tried to film this video 6 different times yesterday, and every single time something happened and it just didn't work out. So I'm trying again today. All right, so we are going to set this right down in here, and we're just going to let that dry. Set it aside and let it dry. Put the lid back on your E6000 if you have E6000, because it leaks out like crazy. Okay, then we're going to take our little ring, and we're going to take our stringing material, whatever you're using, and we're just going to tie it right onto the ring. Okay, so I'm going to make an overhand knot, just a regular overhand knot here. And then I'm going to do a surgeon's knot, which is going through the loop part of your knot with your tail twice. So I'm going to go through one time, through one more time, and pull it tight. Okay, and then I like to take my pliers and, okay, so once you've got your loop tied on there, we're going to pick up 2 delicas. We are going to let them drop down just like this. And we want these delicas to sit on the top of this loop. So we're going to go from the back of our loop through to the front. And we're going to go back up through the first delica, bottom to top. Okay? The very first one we put on, we're just going back up through that bead. Okay? And that's going to sit it on our hoop, and then we're going to go back through the delica right beside it and around to the back of the hoop and through to the front. So then we're going to take our string and our needle and we're going to go right back up through the bead that we just went down, the second one. And when we pull tight, we have the 2 little beads sitting side by side, and you can kind of make them sit like you want them to. So there they are, 2 little beads. So we tied our string on, we put on 2 delicas. Okay, we went through the back of our loop and up through the first one. Then we went down through the second one and to the back of the loop and through again and up through the second one. Okay, so that's what we did. Now we're going to pick one up. We're going to slide it down. We're going to go from the back of the hoop and up through the bottom of the bead we just put on. Now, the way you can tell it is the bottom is you want to go up through the part that your thread is coming out right here. So we're going to go through our loop from the back to the front and up through the part where your thread is coming out. And you can kind of push the bead with your finger and make it sit. Okay, and it's going to sit right on there. So that's 3. Put on another one. We've got to put on 16. Back through the loop. You always go from the back through the loop, and then we're going to go right up through where the thread is coming out on our bead. That's number 4. Same thing, through from back to front. Turn your bead a little so you can get up through where the thread's coming out. And we're doing it just like this. And this is number 5. Okay, I'll do a couple more with you and then I'll let you finish. So you're putting another one on. We're going to go from the back through to the front and up through the bottom where the thread is coming out. And sometimes you can just take your finger and tip that bead and it'll go right up through there. So that is number 6, I believe, or 7. Okay, so go ahead and put 16 on and come right back. Okay, so here we are. We have our 16 little beads on, and do yourself a favor and count them, because I thought I had 16 on and only had 15 on. So yeah, make sure you count them, because if you don't, you may end up with a problem. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do our second row across here. So we're going to pick up 1 delica, 1 bicone, and 1 delica, just like this. Now, if you look over here, you see we have all these little thread bridges. Here's 1, 2, 3. Those are called thread bridges, where the thread crosses from one bead to the other. So we're going to count over 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to go underneath this third thread bridge, just like that. And then when you pull these, they're going to sit right down on there. Okay, we're going to pick up a delica, a bicone, and a delica, just like that. We're going under this thread bridge, so we're not going to count it. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, and go under the third thread bridge. Okay, and just pull your thread, and your little bicones and delicas will sit right on there. Now you want to keep your tension kind of tight. Pull it tight. So pick up a delica, a bicone, and a delica. And we're coming out of this thread bridge, so we're not going to count it. This one right here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 and go under this one. Okay, and there it is. One more, Delica, bicone, Delica. Okay, not going to count this one because we're coming out of it. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 and go under this one. Pull it tight. And then we're going to pick up our last set, Delica, bicone, Delica. We're coming out of this one. We don't want to count it. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and this should put you under the very last thread bridge on your project. So go pull right through, and that will sit your last little set right there where you want it to go. This also happens to put us out right by our tail. So we're going to go right down this little bicone right here, or Delica right here. And we're going to tie this. We're going to give this a good tight knot one more time because now we're back to where we can tie off this tail again. And that's a good thing to be able to do. So let's just tie a knot. I'm going to do 2 overhanded knots. Just like this. I'm going to grab it with my pliers and pull just to make sure that it's good and tight. And then you can cut that off. You can cut the tail off. Don't cut your other one off yet. Okay. Now, we're going to sew through just a couple more beads with the other one just to make sure that it's secure. I mean, it should be. But we're going to go up the second bead, the one right beside where we're coming out. So we're coming out the first one on this row. We're just going to go up the second one. And you should be able to get your needle through with no problem because we haven't gone up through those beads a whole lot. So, and then we're going to sew right through this bead, this bicone, and this next Delica right here. Okay. Then we're going to go right up the next Delica and come out right before the bicone, right here. Okay, just like that. Now we're going to go under the thread. So the thread that hooks the Delica and the bicone together, we're going to go right underneath that thread right here. Just right under here. And we're going to tie a knot. So I'm going to do an overhanded, just a regular knot. Pull that down tight. And then I'm going to sew through my bicone and through this next Delica. Just like that. And then you can cut your thread. And here we have our little component for the bottom. So now we're going to go back to our little piece that we had glued in on the top. And we're just going to take our jump ring. And we're just going to hang it right on. And now you have a beautiful little pair, very blingy and sparkly, of Brickstitch on hoops using beadingschool.com Preciosa Crystals. So I will put a link in the description box below for beadingschool.com. You can check them out. And if you're not subscribed, you want to subscribe and ring the little bell so you'll be notified when we upload, because like I said, we have got a collaboration coming and we're going to be uploading some videos showing some bead weaving. It's going to be really fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I will see you in the next one. Bye.